the best time in New York City. Saturday morning, 7 a.m., no one's awake, streets are empty. I can get uptown in like 10 minutes. Be free. You're free. Go. Go, Theo, come on. Okay, you ready? You ready? Go fetch. So Central Park has all flea showers from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. This is what it's all about. So this has been my ritual for like 8 months now since school ended, to come up here every Saturday morning, sometimes on Sunday morning, and just walk in the park first thing in the morning before anyone's here, because it's surprising how empty the park gets. Like, there's no one here really when you're here at sunrise. I think I felt a little ashamed living in New York for a decade and never having really enjoyed all the city has. Like, Central Park is this beautiful oasis, and like, how many New Yorkers actually come and spend time in the park who don't live near the park? Think about that. This part of the city is so old and it's so historic, and there's just a special feeling about Central Park. And I mean, he's obsessed. Got Theo a horse. Theo is deathly afraid of horses. Theo, horse, look. Oh my gosh, a horse. What are you gonna do? We were saying this off camera, but I'll be in New York City till I die. I've always been on the fence about, you know, how long will I stay in the city? I think everyone who lives in New York is always like, how long are you gonna be here? And I foresee being here till I'm an old man. New York is interesting because the architecture can inspire you. Like, the buildings can make you want to almost like stand on the shoulders of giants. Like, the people who built this city are the most prolific people in American history. You ever think of that? That's crazy. The house has become a home. When I moved in here, this place was a white box. It was very bland. Didn't really have anything that showed that I was living here. So before you watch this apartment tour, I want you to click the link down below in the description and watch the apartment tour. When I first moved in the space, I don't even recognize myself, let alone the space. So I think it'd be kind of cool to compare and contrast what my life is like now and the space is like now compared to 2-3 years ago. Like, so much has changed. Starting the tour off with the entryway. We're rolling out the red carpet here, making it a bit more cozy. Theo loves to sit here and wait for us to return from our errands out in the city. I'll be totally honest, I can't take credit for even half of the decor in here. The majority of it has come from my girlfriend Geraldine. I actually painted this last winter when I was preparing for a piece during conservatory. This is oil on canvas. This is the Blue Man. There's a few art pieces throughout the house that I've painted. Overall, the place is just lived in. This is the longest I've lived in a home continuously since I was like 8 years old when my parents split up. The entryway is pure function. We've got the bench, shoes off apartment. Above, this is my 7-foot board. This is for those bigger days. And I got these racks off of Amazon here. One of the biggest changes in the space is the art wall. This has been a project in the making. This is it so far, and I'm pretty happy with how it's come along. Some Ansel Adams work. Of course, we got Marilyn Monroe, Graduate movie poster, a young Clint Eastwood with his pistol drawn. The cast iron staircase and the art wall have become the focal points of the space. One of my favorite paintings of all time. This isn't an original, of course. This is a reproduction of Ed Hopper's Nighthawks. This painting depicts New York City in one single frame to a T. The isolation one can feel in the city, surrounded by people, is so beautifully encapsulated in this painting, and I just love this painting. Right off of the art wall, this is the library. We're living in a time where people don't really read anymore, and you can find out so much by just looking at someone's bookshelf. The book collection has grown substantially since you last seen my apartment, and specifically it's grown in rare and old books. I've really gotten into antique historical books, such as this one here, This is an 1857 original copy of the life and times of George Washington. This was pretty expensive and it's falling apart. There's actually an original draft of the Declaration of Independence in this book here. We are living in times where you can't believe everything you read on the internet, and one of the only ways to find the truth is to read it in old books. So I highly recommend, if you're looking for a hobby, old books. I also have some sentimental things above, YouTube plaques right next to Marlon Brando in his wardrobe test for A Streetcar Named Desire. I've never said this in a YouTube video, but I moved to New York City to pursue theater. And interestingly enough, it's only taken me 10 years to finally pursue what I actually moved to the city for. And I booked my first off-Broadway play, which is opening the first week of May this year. And there'll be a lot more information on that to come. So off of the library, this space is now become Theo's buffet bar and his dining room, where we even have his personalized Theodore mat and the sponsor of this video, Sundays for Dogs. Look what it is. So Sundays for Dogs is human grade, real food with ingredients that you can actually pronounce. They're all listed on the side of the box. We have chicken, apples, tomatoes, shiitake mushrooms, broccoli. Like, I would eat this if I had to. Maybe off camera. It's the start of the new year. This is actually my first video of the new year. And I have my health resolutions, and Theo has his as well, and that includes going to Central Park at least twice a week to run and eating healthy. And the brand was actually founded by a vet because she couldn't find a dog food that was as nutritious as a home-cooked meal. Sundays takes care of that with no mess. Theo's my boy, he's my child. Theo is much part of my family, as my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sister. So of course, I'm gonna give him the top quality food that he deserves and that really supports his health and hopefully gives him a nice long life. He's almost 4 now, which is crazy. And to kick off the new year right, you can get 50% off your first order of Sundays by using my link down below in the description of this video. Big thanks to Sundays for introducing Theo to some healthy, real food and for sponsoring this video. And with that, continuing on with the tour, above Theo's feeding station is my second board that I have. I actually just got this board. This is a 7/6 kind of retro fun board. I got it down in South Jersey. I've only actually taken it out once so far. And these wall mounts we actually got off Amazon in this cool Polynesian style, because I like to have my boards actually serving as like kind of art in the house. On to the kitchen, which has changed the most. So when you live in a loft, it's hard to really divide up the spaces, and recently got this center island and these cool retro bar stools, added a level of coziness to the kitchen, and it really just acts as a nice divider. We have postcards from restaurants we've gone to in the city. This is actually the first production I ever did. This was a staged reading called Wildfire at New York City Center. The apartment's just a home now. It was kind of just like a blank space before, and now it actually has some character. Off of the kitchen, we have the dining room table, which is way too big and never really gets used. To be honest, we only use this end of the table. Typically, this end is normally just like clutter, and we end up putting a lot of things on it. Right off of the dining room, we've got the credenza. This is a new addition. We've got Paul Newman and Robert Redford above in an antique vintage Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid movie poster. Got the Marantz on top here. Studio lights, I use these for filming self-tapes, sometimes making YouTube videos, more so self-tapes than YouTube videos these days. This is the cologne wheel. So, you know, when you're heading out for the day, you pick your favorite cologne, give yourself a nice spritz, set for the day. The majority of the time in the space is spent here in the living room, and it has changed a lot. The last home tour I gave, I had those 2 hideous white couches that were like the typical influencer couch. I threw those away. I got these 2 nice, deep, dark brown chocolate leather couches. The fig tree has grown probably about 3 feet since you last saw it. Behind the fig tree, we just got this orb from IKEA. I'm a big fan of ambient lighting. Not so much overhead harsh lighting. I've always wanted a fireplace in a New York City apartment, and this loft does not have one, but Geraldine has made one out of these candles and these glass cylinders. Boom, little makeshift fireplace there right below the TV. We have this past year's Christmas card on the bench, more old books. The only piece of old furniture I actually kept was this chair in the corner, because this is Theo's favorite chair. He loves to hide underneath it as much as he loves to sit on top of it. And this is the reading chair. This thing is super comfortable. Above the comfy chair, we've got the matte black retro light with the snake plant, which has grown its way out onto the light, which is pretty cool. I love having plants in this space. Off of the living room, we have the bathroom. And if you remember from the first video, the bathroom is probably the worst part about this apartment. But recently we snagged this off of Amazon. This is a tension rod shelf because there was pretty much no storage space in here other than this old vanity. This bathroom just gets the job done. That's really all there is to say about that. Then off of the living room behind me here, we have the bedroom. And putting up this wall was the best thing that I could have ever done in this space, because it allows the light to come through the entire apartment and yet shields with the lower part here where we have the sheetrock. It shields the bed for some privacy. Not a ton of privacy, but enough. Recent additions to the bedroom, this carpet. So the general theme of the updated apartment tour is making the space more comfortable and more lived in and more of a home. At the far end of the bedroom, we have the home office. We have my desk in the corner, which is messy as can be. It gets a lot of use. In my office, I have various things hanging up. I have my degree from Northeastern. I have my certificate from the conservatory I studied from over the past 2 years studying theater. Then I have this still hanging up, and I want to take it down, but I have it up just because it's an article in the Wall Street Journal about YouTube luxury home tours. And it's up, and I keep it up because it is so far removed from who I am today. That guy walking around in the suits, making YouTube videos, obsessing over view counts and the things that really don't have any meaning in life. And it's a real testament to the evolution of a career. Nowadays, I film homes if I like the architecture and if they're old. I love historical buildings, like the chateau I just filmed in Normandy. Those are more the types of homes I'll be filming in the future. And if you want to see more videos like this one, let me know down below. I actually read the comments on my videos, so let's have a dialogue. Let me know what you want to see on this channel, and if this video gave you any value, any entertainment. I know Theo has been sleeping throughout the entire tour. And with that, I will see you in the next video.